I'm covered, you covered, we covered. So stay covered as you discover yourself. Every day cover head, hands, shoulders, knees, and toes. You cover to the flow, now bring it up slow. Now bring it up slow. Every day cover head, hands, shoulders, knees, and toes. You cover to the flow, now bring it up slow. Now bring it up slow. Check this out. This meditation will take you further. If it's about shade, I can't be bothered. Shine bright like a model female brother. Holding my spirit on my daddy and my mama. More spiritual than Christmas and Kwanzaa. This DNA we never saw came from God. My old folks used to say we're going up yonder. Commune with ancient grass, experience. Blessed by the mother and the father. For liberation, they became fathers. Yeah, we made it through the blood and the slaughter. Can't run if you wanna go farther. Hates a losing team, I ain't trying to be a starter. Love's in the lead and we in the fourth quarter. This hits on the rise and it's why they hitting harder. But we shake chipping on like touchdown, we at the border, power running through, oh stronghold boom. For your favor, I jump this room. Test come daily, let's be ready soon. Let the light chase the dark while we chase soon. No longer have a hope, I'm the sun and the moon. A blend of different nations like an octo room. Every day cover head, hands, shoulders, knees, and toes. She cover to the flow, now bring it up slow. Now bring it up slow. Every day cover head, hands, shoulders, knees, and toes. You cover to the flow, now bring it up slow. Now bring it up slow. Well, you might be a boss, but what rules your soul? You got lost in the sauce, so the bad you hold. How many people you done left standing out in the cold? I thought you brother had Jesus, then it's still been go. You collect fat checks on promissory note. It don't matter if it's the ones your whole present row. But you looking at me like a joker. You got secret handshakes with this dude like you're chummy. Running to his money like the bees running honey. The only difference is that the bees create the honey. You just make the money, then he takes the money. Wake up, dummy, mama's coming. Every day cover head, hands, shoulders, knees, and toes. You cover to the flow, not bring it up slow. Not bring it up slow. If you every day cover head, hands, shoulders, knees, and toes. You cover to the flow, not bring it up slow. Not bring it up slow, baby. Away from me. We don't commune with this loyalty. Like I said, if you fake, stay away from me. We don't commune with disloyalty. Oh, if you're fake, stay away from me. We don't commune with disloyalty. Hold on one second. So today, I have a story to share. And I have a story to share. So this is my vaccination card for government 19. Yeah, I got it today. And I want to talk about that. I want to unpack a little bit of that. Why I got the vaccination. Because my vaccination story is not unfamiliar, I don't think, because I think a lot of people, their jobs have told them that if they didn't get vaccinated, then they will lose their job. So a lot of people have been pretty much forced. Like if you're in the healthcare industry, if you're in the work for the school or work for the government, you pretty much ain't got no choice but to get vaccinated. Well, right now I'm not working a 9 to 5 per se. I still feel like I work every day. I feel like I try to contribute to society daily. Now, do I punch a clock? No. But I still feel like I'm a person who contributes to society, contributes to the advancement, of humanity and society. So, but there are some things that I want to do. Like I want to go to poetry nights. I want to go to the comedy clubs. Like I want to do stand-up comedy. There's a lot of things that I want to participate in that you really can't participate in unless you go and get vaccinated. And I didn't want to be one of the first ones to get vaccinated because I didn't want to get vaccinated out of fear. I still think that a lot of people who had the virus, um, I think you actually can manifest it. I think that our minds are strong enough to manifest, sickness. Hold on, I see this. I hate when this thing do that. But I think that our minds are. I think that we can manifest sickness. I think we can make ourselves sick. So my heart goes out to a lot of people who have contracted the virus, um, and whom it has been deadly for. You know, I definitely know what it's like to live with a life-threatening illness. Um, but I've said this before in my videos that last year I wasn't taking my meds, and so my immune system was extremely compromised. And thank God is I never had it. Um, I did get sick at the beginning of last year, but I didn't have those symptoms like the trouble breathing and food not having no taste. It was just a regular flu to me. So and it's not the sickest that I've ever been before. Like I can remember when I was working for Brotherhood, whew, child, stress will make you sick. That was the sickest I've ever been in my life. Like, I've never had to be hospitalized for being sick. But baby, I came close. That time I was like, Lord, do I need to go to the hospital? Lord God, I was like sweating and spitting up for days. I was sick for like 2 weeks or something. Like it was like the sickest I ever been before in my life. Um, yeah, I was really sick. I don't think I was taking my medication at that time though. But I decided to go ahead and get vaccinated today because I'm finna be doing some moving around. And also, like I said, I want to participate in things. I want to be able to perform at a comedy club. Like that's one of my dreams is to like do stand-up comedy. I've always wanted to do it. I've always been kind of afraid, but that's what I really want to do. Either in New York or Georgia, because I'm really comfortable with myself now. Like I'm comfortable with the fact that I'm a sex change. I'm comfortable, with my status, even though I don't like talking about it all the time because I don't want to be branded for that. I don't want that to be the first thing out your mouth when you talking about me, So I try not to brand myself with that. I don't like to talk about that all the time, but I do some work in that area, But I'm not trying to be like that. I don't want that to be at the forefront of my legacy. But I do want to do that work because I feel like that work is important. So I'm comfortable enough with my status to talk about it. I'm comfortable with being trans, lay lim lay lur, as I like to call it. Um, yeah, I'm comfortable with myself. It's not too many things you could say about me to offend me or to make me upset. Like I could take jokes when it comes to me. Like I could take people making jokes. Now, if the jokes are not funny, then it's not legitimate. Then no, like you just making up stuff. No, like because when I crack on you, I'm gonna use facts, and that's why it typically sting people because when I come with facts. But but yeah, I went and took the vaccination today, and I wanted to talk a little bit about fear. You know, I'm different than other people. And some people would say this is crazy, but I don't watch the news. You know,
I done stopped being on social media so much. I'm glad they took my Instagram from me. At first, I was mad when they took my Instagram, but I go and check in on Facebook to see how my family doing, and I'll be on Facebook for maybe like a day or two. Sometimes I can leave my account open for like a week, but I'm not on social media as much as I used to be. This is where I really invest most of my energy at, is YouTube. And I want to do a Patreon, like I said at the start of the year, which means that I'm probably not going to be on YouTube as much, because I'm not going to live on the internet, because 5G, I believe that all of that is real. Like I believe that um being on the internet too much can make you sick. I believe that watching the news and all of that too, I think it can make you sick. I think that it's programming. That's why they say now returning to our regularly scheduled programming, because they're programming you. And so I like to control the content that I take in. That's why I make my own music. And I've had a person who was an oracle and who was a prophet tell me that wise people and smart people are making music at this time. Like, because this is the time to feed yourself, because it's the time to manifest your own reality and to create your own reality, because the world is putting out an agenda, and we be thinking things have to be blatant. Like I think society has gotten sophisticated enough not to just have to um just go and kill a whole community of people, or just to bomb a neighborhood, or just to bomb a community. Like, society has gotten sophisticated enough, and technology has advanced enough to where they could slowly kill you. Like, they don't it doesn't have to be, oh, they took the vaccine and 6 months later they died. I think complications come from our genetics, and also how we take care of ourselves, what we put into our bodies. Some things we've already been predisposed to because of our ancestors, the foolishness that they gave, whatever they got involved in. So some things our genetics have already been predisposed to. But even with that being said, because as a child I had asthma, and sometimes my breathing, I get a little winded, and I think that's just because I done gained weight, and plus I be smoking herbs. So but as a child I had asthma, and I don't really, I don't really bother with that now. Like, I don't have to use no asthma pump or nothing now. So you can have things that go on with you as a child that can change when you're an adult, depending on how you take care of yourself. Now, I could have grew up and smoked cigarettes for 20 years, and I could be sitting here in front of the camera telling a whole different story. You know what I'm saying? But I did dabble in cigarettes for a brief period in my 20s, mostly when I was getting high off a little coke and stuff. But cigarettes was never really my thing. My mother smoked cigarettes for a little while, but she gave them up too. So, like, my daddy smoked cigarettes, but we really like my daddy do a lot. My daddy cuts up. He gets carried away. Not the man who has raised me as my father, but my biological daddy. He give a lot. He does a lot. Um, and meeting my daddy and seeing all of the stuff that he give, you know, it's a reminder for me. I'm thankful for all the examples around me. Some people, um, they'll say, oh, your daddy messed you up because he was an addict, or oh, your daddy messed you up because your daddy was on drugs. No, actually, seeing my daddy use and do the things that he does reminds me, girl, okay, your daddy has already created this example for you. Is this what you want to do? Is this what you want to give? Is this how you want to be? Is this what you want your legacy to be? Do you want to be around here giving what your daddy gives? So, you know, seeing what my daddy give, it really have helped me to just pull it back, to not get as carried away as I know I could. I used to love to drink. I used to drink. I used to be able to put away a bottle of wine a day. But when I met my father and I saw how he got down with the alcohol, I was like, I was like, no. I was like, no. When I saw what type of alcoholic my daddy was, I was like, then my daddy was going in and out the hospital and all of that, from just being hard headed, doing certain things that he would not stop doing. And it was a wake up call for me. It was a wake up call for me to take better care of myself. So sometimes having addicts in your family is a blessing, because if you don't see it, if you don't get that warning shot and it be close to home, then you might be the alcoholic. You know what I'm saying? We think a lot of times people be alcoholics because their family members was alcoholics, and people be drug addicts because their family members were drug addicts. But no, some of us look at our parents as cautionary tales. Some of us look at our grandparents, look at their narratives as cautionary tales. So having addicts in your family and alcoholics and drug addicts in your family isn't always a detriment. Sometimes it be the thing that saves you from becoming that example. Like you paying attention to your family and you seeing what your family going through and you seeing what your elders are going through, and you like, I don't want to have this experience. I don't want to go through this. I'm learning from them. But some of us, we get on our high horse and we start trying to condemn and put people down. And that's one of the things that I had to work on, because I ain't gonna lie, sometimes it was hard for me not to look at my daddy and look down my nose at him. It was hard for me not to judge him, and put him on a certain pedestal because he was my daddy. But my daddy accept me like I am. He accept me, as his daughter. He don't judge me for how I am. We done got into one argument before, and he just said some smart stuff to me. Now, this is not the daddy who raised me. Like the daddy who raised me, he be beefing with it. He got some problems with it. Like me and him, we kind of goes backwards and forwards. But my biological daddy, me and him had one discussion about it, and it never happened again. We never went through that again. We had one argument about me being trans, one argument about this, and it was no more after that. After that, he's always accepted me. But sometimes I find it hard to accept him. And that's so crazy, because you would think that I would be the one that would be being judged harshly, but it's the other way around. I be catching myself judging him sometimes for his addiction. But I feel like the people that are most susceptible to being brainwashed in society are youth and older people. And I say youth because youth are still trying to figure out who they are, although to a certain extent, they think that they're indestructible because they're young. But they're still impressionable. They're still easily influenced a lot of times. So I think youth are probably one of the easiest audience to target, and elderly people, because elderly people, um, especially elderly Caucasian people, I think that they look at the government and they just trust the government. A lot of them, not all of them. Um, and they hang on every word that the government is saying. And I don't think this is just exclusive to elderly Caucasian people, because I think a lot of elderly Black people watch the news and hang on to every word. And I think while you're being programmed, it's easy to manifest sickness. Because I definitely believe all of these diseases are created. All of these viruses and these diseases are created. I definitely believe that it is warfare on society. It's a it's kind of like testing guinea pigs. Like just doing real time tests with the people, doing real time tests with the populace. Like I think that wealthy people who want to shape reality, who want to shape, society, who want to influence society, I think they invest in um releasing certain things, having certain things tried and tested, and it's released to the populace. We already know that the government is corrupt. So you know, and I was gonna sit here and be on this, be on this pedestal and like I'm not about to take this vaccine. I did want to, like I said earlier, I did want to rush to take it because I just wanted to Whoopi Goldberg said in Color Purple, I want to stand back and wait and see what the wall was gonna look like. But now so many of my family members have it, so many of my loved ones, have taken the vaccine. It's like, child, if they did it, I'ma do it. I gotta, have some skin in the game too. Like, if something gonna happen to my family, then hey, sign us all up. Sign us all up, honey, because most of my family done already been vaccinated, so I'm probably like the last one. I'm probably the last one. By stubborn, but because I was like, but I'm in New York and there's so much stuff that I want to do, and I don't have time for people looking at me crazy. But the whole thing is it's like, okay, people taking the vaccination and people still gotta wear masks. Like, what's the point of like what is happening with society right now when this virus came out in the end of 2019 and it's getting ready to be 2022 and people still running around here with masks on? Like, what is really going on? And you ain't gonna tell me that the power of manifestation is not real, because I definitely feel like I willed myself to be positive. Like, I've been living with the nothingness for 18 years now. And I remember when I first got diagnosed, I kept saying, I started believing that I had it because it was just always around me. It was everywhere. And I felt like I deserved it because of the lifestyle that I was living, because of how I was brought up. And, I felt like I deserved it. And I kept saying, and I feel like I willed it, and I think that so many people subconsciously will things over themselves, like speak things into their life, like manifest things. Forgot what they call that. It's a medical term for this. When you create the sickness, you make yourself sick, like you literally make yourself sick. And that's why I'm not denying that people really have it and that people are really suffering and that it's real. But what is the root of it? Like I know that people are dying from it. I know that people have this, but what is the actual root? What's the doorway? How does it come in? And I think now, since I've gotten older, I don't accept certain things. It's like when people try to speak things over me, speak things over my health, or say things, I'm strong enough to say no. That's not going to happen to me. That's not how this is going to go. This is not how this is going to play out. But when I was younger and people were speaking the nothingness over me, telling me I was going to get a house in Virginia, I felt like I deserved it. So I could not combat with that. I could not speak against it. So I really do honestly feel like it's a lot of casting going on. I feel like, we live in a society that profits off of misery, that profits off of suffering, that profits it's off of oppression. So you got people trying to slide stuff into your subconscious all day long, trying to make you eat something that's going to make you sick physically and spiritually. You go to church, you get a message, the pastor got you at war with the enemy when the enemy is really your damn self. Stop getting in your own way. You go to the church, the pastor got you warring with the enemy. Then when you leave up out of church, you drive to McDonald's and Burger King and get you something fried, dyed, and laid to the side. So you done got a poisonous message in your spirit and a poisonous message in your vessel, in your body, and then you finna go home and get poisoned by the damn news. My God, it's God today. Baby, you're getting it from all angles. And then it'd be hard not to manifest something. That's why today when I went in to go and take it, baby, before I went in, I prayed. I lit my candles on my altar. I talked to my ancestors. I burned my special incense and my special herbs to summon my ancestors, honey. I did me a dance of worship. I fell on my knees. I stood up. I had a whole worship set. I had a routine. I had put on my special clothes, my garments, my protective clothes that I feel the strongest in. I started covering myself. I started listening to my music and just getting my spirit ready and just depositing, things into my spirit, and trying to shield myself from things that are not good for me, trying to shield myself from things that are not coming to bless my life. That's why I don't be on social media like that. That's why I kind of stay to myself. I kind of talk to the same people. I mess with regular people, and people be thinking I be shady when I don't want to talk to everybody on the phone. Because some people will suck your energy and they don't even know they sucking your energy. Some people will be a vampire to your spirit and, they don't even know they're being a vampire. I don't vibrate on the same frequency all the time. Sometimes I have my ratchet moments. Sometimes I have my spiritual moments. Sometimes I have my really, really disciplined moments, when I'm trying to focus. And so I go through these different, I'm a Gemini child. Like I literally be all over the place. And so sometimes I don't like to talk on the phone because I might be on a different frequency or on a different vibe. And it may come off as if I'm being shady or as if I have an attitude. But I'm not on that right frequency, boo. I'm not on there. It be so much on my mind and I think heavy about so much stuff. And sometimes people will say stuff to me because, for one, I'm very empathic, so I feel things. And I'm so thankful, we should be thankful that people experience trials and tribulations. Like, I'm thankful for everything that I've experienced in this life that has been a struggle for me, because it has taught me to be more empathetic to others. Imagine if we lived in a world where there was no sickness, if there was no suffering, there was no struggle, but people still had issues that they were dealing with. Things that we didn't perceive to be struggle. Imagine if there was no sickness and no suffering. How would we learn empathy? Like, how would we learn how to be empathetic to others if everything always went the way we wanted it to go? If we always had these, hold on. Where would it even go? Like, where would that even go? Like, if we never experienced, if we never experienced hardships, if we never experienced trials, if none of us ever experienced tribulations, how will we learn? Right? How will we grow? So we learn from our hardships. We learn from our struggles. We learn from the things that we go through so that it can be a testament to others and so that we could speak and articulate our experiences and share them with others. Faith Evans said, if I had to take the rain away, I wouldn't because it's what made me who I am. And she's a Gemini like me. So I'm thankful for being able to see both sides of the coin. I'm thankful for my hardships, from my struggles and my experiences because they give me wisdom. When I was younger, I used to be so ashamed of everything. Society has it geared up for us to be ashamed of the very things that give our life value, give our life authenticity. The struggles that we go through give our life authenticity. It carves out our personality, our character, and so if you notice people who are beautiful is according to society standards and who ain't never really been through nothing and have a sheltered life, sometimes they can be the most toxic people. Sometimes like beautiful people who've lived a sheltered life and who haven't really been through anything, and society has told them that they were beautiful their whole life and they've been sheltered and they've never really experienced anything. Those people are a lot of times the biggest problems that we have in society, the biggest issues. And we have a lot of people in the community, not to get on this topic and stay on it, but we have a lot of people in community who think that because they know how to use big words and PC words, that it's still not harmful. You just said it in a different way, but it's still just as harmful. It's still just as, it's in fact, sometimes it's even more triggering because you sound like the oppressor. You sound like a colonizer. So sometimes it's even more triggering to hear someone spout out a language that was forced upon us. I got triggered today while I was filling out the application for the vaccine, when they said, "What is your preferred language?" And I said, "The only one I know." Like, it's not my preferred language, it's just the only one I know. Besides the words that I created, Lelem Lelur, and a little bit of South African I learned while I was over there. But it's the only one I know. It's the one y'all taught my ancestors. Like, what's your preferred language? The one I know, the one y'all pushed on me. And when they ask me what my gender is, when they ask me what my gender is and what my sex is and what my race is, I done started declining that. I done started. I don't put, I don't put none of that. I don't put myself in boxes no more. I put multiracial. I put gender non-conforming. I'm sick of y'all putting me in boxes. I'm sick of labels. I'm sick of them. I use them as needed. It's like when the doctor give you a prescription, he say take it as needed. I use those labels as needed. But anytime I get a box that allows me to pick something different, or I ain't got to go into that box, oh, definitely. I'm sick of, giving people the ammunition to target me, to campaign at me, and to market, to run game on me. I'm sick of being a statistic. Like I ain't no box for me. Like, so if I could find a way, like, I decline it. I do all that. Like I'm triggered by boxes. I'm triggered by what is your race? I'm triggered by, what is your sex? What was your sex at birth? I'm triggered by all that. Like, why? Why? So yeah, I'm just glad that I'm in a different place now. I don't feed myself a whole bunch of negativity. I'm gonna take care of myself this evening. I'm about to get off this live. I just wanted to come on and document the day today. I actually added up today's date. So today is December the 12th. No, today is December the 13th. Um, December the 13th, 2021. So if you add all those numbers up, you get 12, and then you add the 2 to the 1, and then it becomes a trinity. And it was so funny because that's my first that's my original life path number, but I count both of my life path numbers. So I count the life path number from when I got my sex change, and I count the life path number from when I was born. So my life path number when I got my sex change, which was also on my birthday in 2014, my life path number was 4. And when I was born, my life path number was 3. So today was 3, was the Trinity. And it's so funny because I wrote this poem earlier today when I woke up today. It's called The Divide. You ran so far away, you ran back to me. You ran so far away, you ran back to me. 3 became like 8, revealing the true Trinity, existing infinitely. Though it's been a long time since the split of our divine, still with each step we take from each other reveals how our stars are still aligned. Chaos and order forever intertwined. My heart, your heart, our souls combined. Your war is my peace. My peace is your war. It has been this way from future to present and times before, stretching from the farthest parts of heaven to the depths of the ocean floor. And it's not finished, but that's deep. Like, it's talking about the split of masculine and feminine energy. So, when you think about it, you think about it with that in mind. And the infinity symbol has these 3 main points. The beginning, the middle, and the end. So I like to look at the Trinity as the infinity symbol. But yeah, so this is about masculine and feminine energy dividing from each other. And so I'm gonna read it again with that understanding. You ran so far away from me that you ran back to me. Like, wait, you ran so far away, you came back to me. 3 became like 8, revealing the true Trinity, existing infinitely. Though it's been a long time since the split of our divine, still each step we take from each other reveals our stars are still aligned. Both chaos and order forever intertwined. My heart's your heart, our souls combined. Your war is my peace. My peace is your war. It has been this way from future to present and times before, stretching from the farthest point of heaven to the depths of the ocean floor. I love this. I love this. Hey, Auntie B. Study shows no benefit of flu shots for healthy adults. Yeah, so they told me that I was gonna have to take a second shot. I took the Johnson and Johnson. Um, I wasn't worried about the clotting because my blood is thin, because I drink a lot of water. But they said, after the second shot, they said you're supposed to take the second one because the first one wears off. But I didn't take the flu shot out of fear. I didn't take the flu shot because I was scared I was gonna get it. I took the flu shot because um, there are places that I want to access, and I can't access it without taking the flu shot or without taking a vaccine. And at the end of the day, this is the matrix. If we don't want to be a part of this game, then we need to live off the grid. But if you're gonna be in the game, put me in the game, coach, then you may as well go ahead and take that shot. A lot of people who be pumping these fear narratives like they trying to kill us, they trying to take us out. You know, um, I think everybody that does that is not necessarily on your side or looking out for your benefit. Some of these people really want you to die. Like I love my people. I love black people, but sometimes we get like this superiority complex. We're the gods and we're this and that. And don't get me wrong, I don't think there's nothing wrong with thinking that you're divine. But I understand that my flesh can still be harmed. I'm not that full of myself. My flesh can be harmed, but my spirit, my soul can live on. But a lot of times, black people be talking about, like it just amazes me how black people will sit up here and say we're the strongest. But then when the vaccine came out, when the virus came out, we was talking about how it was disproportionately impacting us. Well, how could something that couldn't even survive in 80-degree weather have such an impact on the original people? Like, I'm confused. Like, we're gonna pick one and stick with it. Like it's like everything black people supposed to be vulnerable to, but then we turn right around and say we're the gods. Maybe you're vulnerable to it because of all these fried chicken and all this Burger King and all this McDonald's and all this Hawaiian punch and all these cigarettes and all this alcohol. Maybe it's all this other stuff you're putting in your body because our ancestors who was out there working in them fields and eating them fresh scraps that fell off the table was clearly healthier than us. Africans, a lot of them over there eating dirt. So, honey, child, they was laughing at COVID when I was over there. Them children was laughing. Like they was talking about people was dying, but the ones that was dying didn't live around where I stayed. I didn't see nobody sick from I didn't see one person in the whole village that I stayed in. And it was thousands of black people that looked like me. And I ain't see nobody sick. I ain't see one case. But I'm sure eventually it started to manifest itself because it kept being drove in people's psyche. All day long, you got the news on, you got them on TV. All day long, people telling you wear your mask, stay inside, save lives. Like it's just all day long, just casting these spells on a loop, on a loop. So I think it probably, people probably convinced themselves eventually, but nothing changed. I was there and it was in other parts of South Africa, but it was not in Durban. There was no sickness in Durban. But we still had to take the same precautions. We still were severely locked down. We still had curfews. We still went through everything that y'all was going through in America, even though it was not affecting us like that. So, yeah, that's the experience that I had over there, and um I feel like this is just about money. I feel like at the end of the day, it's just about money. But I'm not going to be scared to be vaccinated because I'm going to trust in my body. I'm going to trust in my mind. I'm going to trust in my heart. I'm not claiming sickness. I am well. Healing is flowing through my body. El, Ma, or Ya. So I'm not going to claim sickness. I'm not going to allow thoughts like that to marinate in my mind. I'm always telling myself I am well, you know. And I took the vaccine so that I could empathize, so that I could feel connected to everybody else who took the vaccine, so that I could be able to get into spaces that I needed to get into, so that people could see that I'm invested and I got skin in the game. Because at the end of the day, this is a game, you know when you're participating in society, it's a game. Society is a game. Society, yeah, that's what society is. And in order to advance in society, you have to be willing to take risks. You have to put skin in the game. Our government feel like they doing so much for the people that this is what you got to do. This the hula hoop you got to jump through. This is what you got to do if you want to participate in society. So I know one thing: I'm not going to be taking no different vaccine every year. I'm not finna be taking boosters every 6 months. I'm not doing all that with y'all. I took the vaccine. I might go back and take the booster. Johnson and Johnson, the booster is not mandatory, but I did take the shot. So get off me. Get off me. I didn't want to take it. Did not. But I don't want people to be able to say, she not taking this seriously. She's not like, I've been around my mother. You know what I'm saying? My mother ain't never got sick from me. Ain't no elderly people ever got sick from being around me. I ain't never made nobody sick. Ain't nobody never made me sick. But some people are just so invested in this, it's like they don't hear you, because a lot of people be so indoctrinated. You know what I'm saying? They be so indoctrinated with certain beliefs that, and a lot of times it's the gatekeepers. It's people who call shots. It's people who can make your life better or make your life worse. And so you have to play the game. Put me in the game, coach, period. So that's where I'm at with it, There are things I want my voice to be heard in certain spaces. I want to be able to do stand-up comedy eventually. I want to be able to perform at venues, because I want the messages that I have to share, I want them to be heard. And I don't want me not being willing to get vaccinated to get in the way of that. Because at the end of the day, like I said earlier, a lot of my family members are vaccinated. So, if if this is a negative outcome, then hey, I'm gonna be with my family. I'm gonna be with my loved ones. A lot of my loved ones is vaccinated. So hey, we all in this together. It's up to us. We can make it better. Hold on to your love. Hold on to your love. Ooh. Baby, I got my vaccine, baby. I'm holding on to my love, my family. But anyway, I just wanted to document this. I did not want to make this live long. Yeah, this is my card. That's my card. My card. So baby, I can wave that. What you said? You said I can't. I can't come in. What happened? What it was? I went and took the vaccine for y'all. So I don't want nobody trying to act funny. Girl, let me tell you one time. Girl, I'm gonna say this, girl, and girl, I'm not being messy, just in case Samaya see this video. You know Samaya and Brianna from Box 504 or whatever that is. But her name's Samaya. She live in Atlanta. Yes, she live in Atlanta. But one day we was talking about the vaccine. COVID had came up on her live, and she was like, "Oh, I thought we was," and I was saying, that I still felt like it was a little scammiana, and I do. Like, I don't believe that. I'm not saying that death isn't real, but like I said earlier in this video, I do believe that we can will ourselves to be sick. I do believe that we can manifest sickness because we're being programmed and our mind is telling our body to be sick because of the programming that is saturating and inundating our minds. So I was trying to articulate that to her, and I don't think she was really listening. And I felt like she had really kind of like gaslighted me a little bit. Like, when she was like making me feel like what I was saying didn't make sense. Like, but everybody, I haven't had anyone in my family to pass from the virus. I have had people who had it, and I mean that's what the doctor told them they had. But if it wouldn't have been, if this wouldn't have been out, we would have just thought it was another flu, and that's how it's been in my family. It's been like a case of the flu. It haven't been any like, oh my goodness, she on a respirator, she on a ventilator. And the funny thing about that whole ventilator situation is, when this first happened, when the virus first happened, a lot of people were dying because of what's the name? Fentanyl. They were putting too much fentanyl in all of the street drugs. They were lacing all of the street drugs with fentanyl. And so many addicts were dying because they couldn't get access to real drugs. And so right around the time where they was delivering all of those bodies in New York, where they was delivering all of those bodies to that island, and they wouldn't let nobody, do no autopsy or nothing like that. All of like so many people, so many addicts got killed. Like addicts were being murdered. Like, this is murder when you put fentanyl in street drugs and you put enough amounts in these drugs to kill people. Like so many addicts died and they called it COVID. Addicts was dying all over because they couldn't get they couldn't, when the government shut down, when they did the shutdown, drug dealers was losing money. So they started giving people makeshift drugs. They started putting anything in a bag and giving it to people. And people was panicking and people was hysterical. And a lot of people who are addicts, they are really, a lot of them have an obsessive compulsion. And so whatever it is that they taking into their psyche, they meditating on that. So they literally can make themselves sick. I've been friends with a lot of addicts, and I know what addicts give. Because I didn't have my moments where I was out on a limb, honey. So I done seen some stuff. And I know how obsessive compulsive addicts can be. So addicts can brainwash themselves real quick and make themselves sick. Then you throw fake drugs into the loop. I'm just saying. But I ain't gonna talk too much about that. But I believe you with that. And then you have people that was just dying from old age. stress. It was a really, really, really dark time. 2020 was a really, really dark time in American history. And I'm very, very intentional to say his story. It was a dark time in his story. So, it does not surprise me that so many people died because that programming was designed to take people out. The programming for 2022, they ain't gotta come in and unleash no bomb. Child, they could get on the news and tell y'all all day long, every day, oh, it's a disease and it's killing people and da 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 da. I guarantee you, if they get on the news and they say that shit all day long, if they say it ain't got to be nothing out there, they could just sit on the news and say it all day long. I guarantee you, bodies gonna start dropping because it's some henny pennies. We got henny pennies in society, and henny penny was the one. The sky's falling, the sky's falling, the sky's falling. Tell everybody the sky's falling, and then everybody ran to go be with the wolf, and the wolf ate everybody. So henny penny's gonna start dying if they get on the news right now, if it come on the radio and it come on the news, it's a new disease out here and it's killing people and they dropping like flies. Let me tell you something. At least 1% of the population is gonna buy it and believe it. And that's a wrap. That's all they gotta do is believe it, and then they'll manifest it. That's why I don't take all that stuff into my psyche. I listen to it when I got to. When I'm on a public transportation, I gotta hear what they saying. When I'm in the grocery store, I gotta hear what they saying because they gonna put it on. They gonna tell you about your mask and about vaccination and all that. Like when you in the grocery store and you're in a public transportation, you gotta hear that. But when I come in my house, when I'm inside, I don't want. Let me tell you something. People have survived thousands of years without watching the news. If it's something that's gonna affect me and it's something I need to know, I trust my ancestors that it's gonna come to me. I'm gonna get the information. I ain't gotta watch the magic box to find out what the weather gonna be like because I'm in tune with the weather. Who is that? Who the hell is this? Yeah, but I ain't gotta watch the magic box to tell me what the weather gonna be like because I'm in tune with the weather. I ain't gotta do none of that. I just trust. I know when I need the layer. I touch the window. A window tell me if that window real cold. If I sit over here and I feel a chill coming in over here, I know I need to put some more clothes on. But if I touch that window and it don't feel cold, then if it's gonna rain, I know to look up at the sky and see what the clouds look like in the sky. I ain't gotta watch the news for the weather because I'm in tune with that. And if it's anything else I need to know, I trust that the universe that lives within me and my connection to the ancestors and my connection to what's going on around me, whatever I need is gonna come to me. I don't have to sit in front of no box waiting for the government to tell me how to feel and what to think and what to be afraid of. I'm not doing it. Our people have survived thousands of years without it. Amen, a woman. So I'm gonna leave you with that. I light this candle to guide home the ancestors who have transitioned this world today and every other day since I've been away from my altar. I light this candle to acknowledge their sacrifice, their suffering. I light this candle to celebrate the ancestors that we don't celebrate during Black History Month. I light this candle to acknowledge the ancestors who didn't just die for our right to vote, but they also died because they wanted nothing to do with the system. They also were willing to die because they did not want to be oppressed by this system. They did not want to serve this government. So I honor not just the ancestors that we celebrate during Black History Month, but I honor all of our ancestors, past, present, and future. Amen, a woman. Let them lay low. And as I blow out this candle on the physical plane, it grows with a fire and intensity um, on the spiritual plane, guiding our ancestors to the next part of the journey. Down but now that I say cool, it keeps spinning and turning. Ngani Iyanko Kalukalo, which means I am a child of God goddess. And if I am, you know you are. Until next time, drink your hot tea with lemon and take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Self-care. Breathe. And be easy. Love y'all. I don't know why I be thinking it's a touchscreen, girl. Stop.